cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know?
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What is up, everybody? Hello, I'm back. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and I see Jen says Jen doesn't have immunity. You just hit it right, nail on the head. And today I was going to do I had like a little bit of a different agenda, but today we're going to start off with Jennifer Coffindoffer. I had some people requesting that. They love the breakdown, and I want to break it down just like Jenna said. Jennifer does not, in fact, have immunity. Jennifer Coffindoffer is a former FBI agent. As a matter of fact, I can't even believe that her channel only has 16,200 subscribers. So once I put her on here, once I put the channel, please do subscribe to her. I'll have my mods drop her link in the chat. I also saw her on T-Rev at one point, and the only reason I even watched T-Rev before a while back is because Jennifer Coffindoffer was on there, and she's a badass former FBI agent. So that being said, what's up, Live For Now 81, Live For Now 79, baby? What's going on? Hi, S Turtle says hi to me and Wolfpack. And what's going down? There's a few new folks in here. If you guys can do me a favor, hit that like button. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. Get me in the algorithm. I'm almost at 16,900. I'd love to be at 20,000, then 50, then 75, then 100, of course. All right. So I'm hyped up today because, well, you guys aren't here. Otherwise, I'd be probably taking a nap. So what's up, Clar? I'm glad you're not missing a live today. Shelly Joe, Arizona Good Vibes. What's up, y'all? What do you guys want to talk about? Jen Soto, right? Well, we want complete justice for Maddie, and we want to talk about what immunity really means. I don't want to hear this Jen Soto has immunity and not really know what we're talking about. So call logs, jail orders by Stephan Sterns, if we can get to that. But we want to talk to Jennifer Coffindoffer. I actually want her on my show. So hopefully by me sharing her channel, shouting out Jennifer Coffindoffer, and I really do value her perspective so much. So that being said, I'd love to get her on my channel at some point. Remember that, mods, especially you, Bree. Bree does a lot for me. Bree, I don't know if you're here, but what's going on? Yeah, I'm sick of hearing it, Jenna A or Jenna. There's one particular creator, and hey, that's cool. Everybody gets your perspective going, whatever. You do you, boo. But there's one particular creator kind of gives me a headache because I got to get all these emails from everybody asking me if Jennifer Soto's got immunity, and it's driving you nuts. All right, so Bree is here. What's up, Bree? Good to see you. Good to see you, Wolfpack. I know Carly was up here somewhere. Jojo, hope you're here. Petty Mason, and always Wolfpack, if I didn't already say that. Chumba is from Scotland. What's going down? And everybody else. Cheech Brown, Randy B. What's going down? All right, let's get to it. Let's get to Jennifer Coffindoffer right away. All right, because, I mean, let's just really be real. We've been thinking about it for days about immunity, and I just can't take it anymore. Teresa Knight says, hi, Jay. Vancouver said it's like having immunity to a cold, but not the flu. Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. Hey, crime crew, #arrest Soto, my favorite Sadie's mama. And I will say you're my favorite. I can say that confidently. I have a lot of favorites, but Sadie's mama, you know I love you. You're my day one for real. Juror 13, you're never here anymore, but I still love you. And yeah, the queen for the day. I know the terminology, but you know, when we're talking about immunity, can I say something, Jenna? Let me tell you, Jennifer Soto drugged Jennifer Soto. Maybe Stephan Sterns handed her some drugs, but Jennifer Soto drugged Jennifer Soto. So All right. The immunity discussion is on every social media. I understand I saw, but still have not understand what it means. All right, let's go then. Thank you. Let's go. Jennifer Koffendorfer has a guest on, and she's going to talk about it with him. Very talented people here, very knowledgeable people, and you guys asked for it. So I'm going to bring it right now. Let's go.
Have you all welcome to the stage, if you will, Dave Ehrenberg. I couldn't think of a better person to ask if he would help me break this down than Dave. First of all, he was a
And when we talk about breaking this down, we're breaking down Jennifer Soto and immunity. What is going on in the Madeline Soto case? Why is everybody saying that Jennifer Soto's immune forever? Not true.
former Florida state senator. In addition, now he is a Florida state attorney. Who better to understand all of this than Dave? So without further ado, here we go.
Jennifer,
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Jennifer, great to be back with you.
Yes, thank you.
Dave Ehrenberg. I can't think of a better guy. I see him all over the internet. Do me a favor, if you could, Bree, and put Jennifer Koffendorfer. I know she's a retired FBI agent. If you could put her link, or somebody could put her link, drop it in chat. Surprisingly, she only has 16,200 subscribers. She's the woman. I love her, and I also want her on my channel. Jennifer Koffendorfer, if you see this, I want you on my channel. I want to have you as a guest, and I want your knowledge. So please, Jennifer Koffendorfer, let's share her channel. 222. Maddie's saying hello, and she knows that we're fighting for her. So Arizona, good vibes. I see a few people on here that I haven't seen before. Heiser family, good to see you. Glad you're here. Best crime fam ever. We really are. And I hope that we stay loyal to each other as we move into a bigger channel soon. All right, let's go.
I'm always honored and thrilled to have you. I know you've been paying close attention to this Soto case. It so affects your state in so many ways, especially the death penalty, but we'll get into that later. So the big breaking news was a interview that was done clear back in April. And they gave derivative immunity to Jennifer Soto to talk about the details of what happened on February 25th and 20th.
Derivative immunity to talk about the details of what happened to Jennifer Soto. All right. What's up, Dropkick? My first time to catch you live. Well, good. You caught me on a good live. We're going to break down the derivative immunity and what it really means. Thank you, Nikki Sharif, for also subscribing to Jennifer Koffendorfer's channel. Let's get her on my channel. All right. And Jenna, that's surprising that I'm the first channel to say Jen did not have immunity. You were welcome. And my man, the one and only, my Adam drives Helen, my main man, really. You're my main dude. So cheers to you. And grrr, I love your pirate thing. Cheech Brown is a new member. Thank you. Overprotected 111. You are amazing. Thank you. I saw you earlier on Grizzly True Crime, and I appreciate you for the $4.99 super sticker. Anybody that wants to gift memberships today or anything else, it's welcomed, but not necessary. Thank you. All right. Lucky says derivative immunity is called Queen for the Day. For the interview, only they can hold against her, and they can only get a pass on the lies that she told before. Good. Let's break it down even more.
26. Can you break down for us, what does that mean, derivative immunity?
Yeah, Jennifer, derivative use immunity is a legal protection that limits the government from using a witness's testimony or any evidence derived from that testimony against that witness in a criminal prosecution. If the witness lies, yes, they can be prosecuted for perjury, but you can't use the stuff that they say against that witness. It's a like a get out of jail free card just for that testimony. But if the prosecutor,
I like that. Get out of jail free just for that testimony. Did you guys hear that? Gifted one guilty of crime membership. Marsha Young, thank you. Cheech Brown, you've been a member for 5 months. Dang, thank you. I love you. And Overprotected, you know I love my avocados. So just for that day, y'all. Just for that day. So let's bring ourselves down and be excited at the same time about Jen Soto only getting a pass for that day. We all heard how much she lied, and we all saw that she lied, and we're all upset about it. You guys already know.
prosecution and law enforcement can develop the evidence against that person independently, then it's game on. So it's not as broad as transactional immunity. That's the gold standard. If you are a defense lawyer, you want to give your client transactional immunity, means they cannot be prosecuted for the entire thing, the entire transaction, the subject to which they're talking about. When it comes to derivative use immunity, you can still be prosecuted, but just not based on what you said right then and there.
So let's get into that. I was thinking about, all the facts, all the details. We know so much from all the reports that have been released. We've seen so much introduced in terms of the autopsy. We know exactly that Madeline Soto was viciously strangled. We know that she suffered sexual abuse for 2 years, and she had just turned 13. So years of sexual abuse. It's fun.
Coffindorfer, I love you, but Madeline Soto suffered SAing for 5 years at the very minimum. So she was suffering sexual abuse, and I have to say it because that's what it is. From the time she was 8 years old until the night of her 13th birthday party, she was already 13. Thank you, Rebecca, for being a member for 1 month, and you're amazing. I appreciate you. More than 2 years. I am absolutely going to correct that. JC, since Cerber. You know who else said that? Nancy Grace said for 2 years. They got a little, they're big time, folks. These guys are big time, even though they don't have a huge following yet. It's way more than 2 years. You guys already know, so I was going to correct that. Veronica S. Lucky, it was more like 5 or 6 years. So I'm just going to correct that. No harm, no foul. Jennifer, Dave, love you. All right, let's keep going.
All laid out. To me, this is one of those cases that I call a whale in a bucket. That might be a federal term. Maybe you all used it too. Why in the world do you think they felt they needed to give her derivative use immunity?
This was back in April, Jennifer. So they were still hot on the trail of looking for who was guilty, whether it was the defendant in this case, Stephan, or others. And they wanted to know what she knew. And they could not compel her to testify. They could not force her to speak because she's got the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. But they needed and wanted her testimony. And so they said, okay, just tell us everything you know. And based on what you tell us, we're not going to prosecute you unless we can find that evidence independently. So
all right, I gave you that exact same definition. If they could find the evidence independently of that interview, that's what I said. But these guys are the real deal. Retired FBI, true crime MTN. He's an officer. I don't know if he's a current officer, but he's an officer, and he's on every channel I turn. So Lil Ninja, everybody's asking me that question about Maddie's dad. I will reach out to the advocate and ask her, just because everybody's asking me, but pay attention to what they're saying. It's the exact same thing, except you're going to probably find comfort because they're police officers. I said the same thing. And a lot of people aren't fans of hers, and that's okay. Her information is still really solid. Sorry, it can't be more. Much love, Jay. Day one. Adam, you're day one. I'm looking forward to your chill session. Hopefully you have a chill session by Helen soon, because we need to sit there and chill out. All right, let's keep going. And whether you're a fan or not, she knows what she's talking about.
We're really focused on Stephan. Now, if she were the big fish here, they would not have given her that immunity. But Stephan is the big fish. I share a little bit of your skepticism. I know I've seen your tweets. By the way, I don't call it by its new name. I call it Twitter. But I've seen your tweets, and I get the skepticism that perhaps they didn't need to give her this immunity because they had so much evidence against Stephan. And I can understand that. But remember, this was back in April, and it doesn't mean that she won't be prosecuted. And based on her answers, boy, it does seem like she was being a little evasive. She looked like she was still trying to protect this cretin who was living with her, still trying to defend him as a good person who she trusted. And it really made her look bad. I thought in that interview, she looked really bad.
I thought so too, especially when she was having issues saying we, and then going back to I. She did that a couple of times. Actually, the detective goes back and even points that out. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me, as I'm getting at an hour and 9 minutes and the interview ended, I could not believe the questions that weren't asked. And this is why I think, Dave, they are really still considering prosecuting her, because there was a lot they didn't ask in terms of everything leading up.
And you know why they didn't ask those questions, right? Because they gave her derivative immunity on purpose. And we're trying to find out the things that were the basic top level things that they heard in the interview, the information that they had on the phone, the information they got that was getting her to talk. They wanted to get Jen Soto to not go into a crazy house, mental facility, go check herself in and then lawyer up and never talk. They're not stupid, y'all. They're not stupid. So listen to these folks. They know what they're talking about. It does seem like she was still protecting Stephan Sterns. She never once said, that son of a bitch did that to my daughter. I can't believe he said he was going to go take her to a special breakfast and look what happened. Nothing ever. Never did she ever say anything. And yeah, they know what they're doing. A crime to remember. If you're a crime to remember and you're a true crimer, you know they know what they're doing. And I have faith as well. That's why I keep coming back to this. I think they're right. And I think they're doing the right things. They worked from day one to catch Stephan Sterns, and they knew what they were talking about. So have faith in that.
To, everything about the sexual abuse, everything about those 2 years, all the details concerning all of this. And I know they were on a huge timeline too, which is something for me when what in the federal system, we always say we proffer somebody. When we give somebody that proffer situation and I'm interviewing them, these go on for hours, typically, sometimes days, sometimes even 2 days. What did you make of the limited session and the limited questioning?
Yeah, the lawyer for Ms. Soto was telling the prosecution to wrap it up. Remember, towards the end, it's like, hey, let's finish this. And I think it was because they made a deal. And you heard it at the beginning of the interview where the prosecution said, we think this will last about an hour and a half. And the defense lawyer kept the prosecutor to that. So I think the reason why the prosecution, which could have gone longer, remember, she doesn't have the Fifth Amendment to protect her when the prosecution immunizes her. There's no threat of self-incrimination when you cannot be incriminated by what you said. But I think the reason why they cut it short was exactly what you said. I still think she is still potentially in the crosshairs of prosecutors. And if they asked her too many questions, that could harm their future case against her, because then she can argue, no, you prosecuted me because of what I said. I told you all this stuff, and that's the subject of this charge. And then the prosecution has to explain why they developed all this evidence independently. Then it's up to a judge. The judge could just throw it out. So I think you are right as the reason why it is short, and they deferred to the defense lawyer's rules. Only going to ask you an hour and a half. They limited what they asked because I still.
And someone in chat just said she was talking too much at the end. You're right. She was starting to talk too much, get a little comfortable, start saying things that were outside of the scope of what they asked. So we do. Jennifer White says, was Jen with Stephan? I believe they were in the same vicinity. I don't think she was standing with him. They were separately talking to a police officer. You remember the police officer was so sly to say, oh, let me see your phone. Oh, let me check if the settings. Do you know the settings of that? Oh, let me see your phone. Oh, we're going to take your phone for a day. Very sly. Those guys know what they're talking about. I trust that. They know what they're talking about. And this case, it's going to be interesting if it goes to court, because many of you thought that they did not need Jennifer Soto as a witness. You said, no. And I'm not saying all of you. A lot of you told me in chat, you kind of yelled it from the top of the rooftops that, no, they don't need Jennifer. They got enough on Stephan Sterns. Case closed. And I thought the whole time that they were going to get Jennifer Soto. That's why she lawyered up. They knew that. And she went to mental health to go check herself in so she can have that. I knew they were going to come for Jennifer Soto to ask her questions. I knew that. That's all I'm going to say. And a lot of times, yeah, I just know I have a good gut feeling and I go with it. I don't sit there and argue with people, but yeah, arrest Jennifer Soto as soon as possible. An absolute checkmate. Red flag, lots of red flags. I don't know if she's not going to last in society for a day once she's out there, folks. Cheech Brown, you were one of them. Yeah, everybody was telling me, they were coming hard at me and saying, nah, she doesn't need to be a witness. They got this in the bag, but they don't. They don't. And Stephan Sterns might not go on trial, folks. Many people say, oh, he's gonna go on trial. They're not gonna ask him anything. They're not gonna give him a deal. I'm going to beg to differ with that. I'm going to beg to differ that they don't want to sit through that and sit through thousands of SA photos and go to court. So will they take the death penalty off the table if he gives up Jen Soto? He's starting to get closer to implicating her. That's what I'm going to say. Thank you, Randy B. Please smash that like button.
Still think she could be charged.
Yeah, it seemed like they were really focusing in a lot about the linens, the bedding. That was something they really wanted to get to, the clothing that was worn by both Stearns and Madeline, all those little details. And I was listening to her first interview that was to a media station, a television station, where she specifically says she's in this great green sweatshirt. She even describes white Crocs and black shorts. I thought it was very interesting on this immunity session where she says, I have no idea.
Exactly.
You know, there were a lot of interesting answers to that. She was unaware of a lot of.
I called that out yesterday. She was so adamant about what Maddie was wearing. She even cut Stephan Sterns off in that interview at her mom's office. She cut him off and said, no. She's wearing black shorts and a hoodie or a green hoodie, whatever she said. I don't remember what color, but I know she was adamant about what Maddie was wearing. And in that interview that we just listened to for an hour and 9 minutes, she had no idea what Maddie was wearing. As a matter of fact, the police officer had to go back and ask her, do you know if she was wearing pajamas or was she still in that blue dress from the day before or whatever color dress that was? All right. Very interesting.
A lot of things, as she said, but there were some things that you think perhaps she put her head in the sand. You know, she didn't want to really go to answer about why she let her daughter sleep with this guy. They asked her and she said, all she would say is, well, you know, I trusted him. Even after they broke up, he would still stay over because he needed a place to stay. And he's just a good friend. He's just a good friend. I'm like, really? This guy is a cretin. This guy had child pornography on his phone. He strangled your daughter to death. And this is how you talk about him. So if you wonder why you had such a horrific death of poor Madeline Soto, you can see why, because you had a mother who I believe engaged in child neglect. Now, whether she'll be charged with that, whether prosecutors have the goods to prove that case beyond a reasonable doubt, we'll see. But she did not come across well in that interview.
Well, the things that I think they can get her on, and as I mentioned right before we came on, you know, there was no more interesting times that I can look back on, other than, of course, arresting people and all of that. But sitting across from an AUSA and hashing out a case, going forward with the facts, giving them like pros memo saying, listen, we need to go after this guy or gal because XYZ, and kind of going all over all that. Now, I was super lucky. I think I had the best AUSAs ever in all of Texas.
Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that these former FBI agents and Dave Ehrenberg, that's on every show all the time about many topics, haven't dug into the case the way that this community has. So we'll give him a little bit of a pass. Yeah, it's not just child neglect. He just doesn't sit there every day like we do, digging into every little detail. But she does deserve more than child neglect. And if they were to actually get into the child neglect and go deeper of what she knows, it's going to be a lot more than child neglect. We know that. I think she was handing Maddie over to Stephan Sterns, telling her to go to room 4, and she knew what was going on. I think that child neglect is the very least, and they don't want to give her that. So thank you guys for being here. If you guys don't like somebody on the channel, but we still love them, we're still going to show them love and respect their opinion. All right. They have enough evidence for the first trial. They don't need her, but you guys said that before, and they gave her, what would they call that? The queen for the day interview. So they do need her. If they don't need her, they want her to be involved. Regardless of what anyone thinks, they wouldn't have done that interview, and they wouldn't have done that. They just wouldn't have put their time and energy into that interview if they didn't need Jennifer Soto for something. They do. Not only do they need her, they do want to arrest her, believe it or not. They don't want to be chummy with Jennifer Soto. She didn't say anything about Stephan Sterns and why she trusted him so much, other than I trusted him. He's my best friend. She never went outside of that scope. I believe the prosecution wants justice for Maddie as much as we do too, but they have a different strategy. We're not the police officers, so we don't know. That's why I like hearing these guys' insight.
And, it was amazing. But I want to present to you this. Why in the world, Dave, can we not prosecute 1001, at least that's the federal statute, false statements? Because she specifically said it. She was so specific in the earlier interview that she was with him when they dropped off Madeline that morning.
So many things.
False statement.
Jennifer.
Proved independently.
If she lied, and then the feds take that seriously, as you know, Jennifer. I mean, that's why Martha Stewart went to prison. It wasn't because of insider trading; it's because she lied to investigators. They hate that, and you could face serious prison time for that. That's what you're referring to, your 1001 violation. But they said to her at the beginning that if you just tell the truth now, and if you have some inconsistencies with something you said previously, we're not going to prosecute you for that. You notice how they said that at the beginning. They sort of, like water under the bridge. Just tell us the truth now. So if she lied at that interview, the interview that we witnessed, the one from April, then they could indeed prosecute her. But based on what they said at the beginning of that interview, if they have now proven that she lied early on, I think they're going to let it go.
Right. So not talking about the interview that just took place.
Now she's going to go back on the other interview where she lied a whole bunch. But at the beginning of that latest interview, the first thing they talk about is giving her immunity for that particular interview that they did that day. And then they say the reason that she didn't tell the truth was because she was under distress. Her daughter had just went missing. She'd been up. She was heavily medicated and all the other excuses. And they gladly agreed to that. A mother that's got a missing daughter or grieving or heavily medicated deserves that. So they're not giving Jennifer Soto a pass as a person. They're just doing that on the level of trying to get her to speak more, in my opinion. And these guys think that too. Lynette, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. A bit late, but here's my match Monday. Thank you for matching AG Tactical. After this show, go show him some love as well. He's covering this case and many more. Thank you, Lynette. Appreciate it.
In April, but rather the one that took place clear back in February when she said that she dropped off Madeline Soto and gave very specific facts. Why can't that be used? Because, of course, independently, they can prove through video surveillance, through the records from where she was, so on and so forth. They can totally independent make that 1001 case.
Well, did she tell that to the feds or to state officials?
She told that. So I keep saying 1001. What's the Florida statute that you all use when people lie?
Oh, it's obstruction. You're going to ask me specific statute numbers. Thank you.
No, it's okay. But you use an obstruction statute. So
right,
why couldn't they
but
use
it's not treated as seriously as the feds. The feds will put you in prison for 10 years, but it's not as treated as seriously. And that's why the investigator, when they interviewed her in the April call, the April interview, the one we just watched or listened to, they said, hey, it's a misdemeanor. If you want to just come clean now, tell us everything now, and we'll let everything previously slide. So they're telling her that as long as you tell the truth now, we're not going to go after you for misleading statements earlier on. Could they have done so? Yes. But at the state level, it's just not prosecuted in the way that the feds do.
See, that definitely.
See, that's good to hear this because Jennifer Coffendorfer is a former FBI agent and she's really on this. She's like, I don't understand why they, how did they let her lie and go on those so many lies that she told She told so many lies. And Jennifer, if she was back in the FBI and she caught that, she would have been like, arrest this bitch, right? You can tell. Jennifer's probably a mama bear. We're all mama bears. Most of us are. And if we're not a mama bear, then we have nieces, nephews, any kids, any children that we want to protect. What's up, Jack and Sally remix from Iowa? How you doing? What's up? Don't forget to hit that like button, Jack and Sally. And do me a favor, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll answer one more. I wonder if Jen knew he preferred Maddie and Jen was jealous. Just let him have her to keep him around. I think so. I thought that from the beginning. I thought that Jennifer Soto was jealous of Maddie. I don't know about that specific scenario, but I have thought about that. And obstruction of justice and child endangerment, right. But they're not going to go with that. They want more than that. I know Ophelia says, I'm not a mama, but this case makes me feel like a mama bear. And that's all it needs to be. That's all you need to do is feel like it. And boom, we're done. We want justice for Maddie, and that's all good.
Wasn't translating to me because I thought no matter what, they can get her on this false statement / obstruction. But it sounds like it just doesn't have the teeth the feds have. So they're not going to pursue it.
There you go.
Yeah, and they wanted her to come clean in the April interview, and then it gets into interesting issues of immunity. If you then are telling the truth now, would they go back and say, okay, now based on what you said, now we know you were lying previously, and we're going to prosecute you? That would rub up against the whole derivative use immunity that she was given. So do not expect her to be prosecuted for previous lies, as long as she told the truth in that statement in April. If she lied in that April statement, then she's going down. If she lies.
Now, keep in mind, someone just said a moment ago that she told double tales, we'll call it. She gave double answers in that interview, folks. So one of them had to be a lie. You can't give two answers and none of them be a lie. Now, Maddie's father has not been interviewed recently, and he's out in Texas, and he's really struggling with work and working and getting funding. I don't know why, but Lucky says, don't forget to sign the petition. Please do that if you want to help Maddie. And Anna Fleming, I am going to shout you out, being from St. Cloud, Florida. Let us know if you've gone to Maddie's memorial. It's not there anymore, but I want to know if you've been there, if you left a lock, if you've just seen the demeanor of Florida and the sadness. Lisa Lynn, what's up? To me and the Guilty of Crime crew. Yeah, perjury is one of them, but they just said it's not on the FBI federal level, and state doesn't prosecute like that. Yes, prayers for Tyler. I do know, and the only thing I can report is that they're lacking funds to get out to Florida and stay out there for lengths of time. Now, a lot of people are also asking me about the trial, if the trial dates change. I'm going to give you a hard yes. It is not going to happen in October, folks. I'm a true crime person, true crime for life, 30 years watching this stuff. I'm 45 years old. I've been watching this stuff for longer than 30, but let me tell you right now, a case that's of that magnitude is not going to happen for 2 to 5 years. If they're going to trial, they're not going to happen for 2 to 5 years for that particular, the 60 charges and the capital murder. All right. I'm just letting you know that. I'm being real with you. So anytime you ask me, did that case change? I don't have to look at the Florida website. I can tell you right now, the trial's not going to happen right now. Nothing's going to happen right now. It's not going to happen this year. Shelly Joe, you're 110% right. Scary Sherry, you say 3 years. You just gave me an average of my 2 to 5. That's exactly what's going to happen. All right. It's years away. Mae Freeman, you're 100% right. Ding, ding, ding. You don't have to be a true crime junkie to think of it that way, to understand that. It's just, that's how it works. Go back on any case of this magnitude and you'll see.
Since the April statement, then she'd be going down. But if because of what she said at the beginning was misleading, they're going to give her a pass.
Okay. That was one that I was really hanging my hat on. Okay. Let me ask you this, though. What about just about the simple obstruction? Everything she was telling them to sort of mislead law enforcement, oh, I have no idea what happened. I don't know, just the the song and dance really from the very beginning about having no idea, but yet covering. Is there no way to get an aiding and abetting or obstruction charge?
All right, this is from our regular topics, our regular discussions. We talk about, and Marilyn McRae, I am a true crime junkie. You are right. I had that in my profile originally, and then I went to a true crime addict. I'm addicted to true crime. Even when I try to stay away from it, it comes to me, and I just can't stay away from it. And I can't help wanting to help these victims and the survivors. I just have a soft spot for that. So yes, I am a true crime junkie, true crime addict, whatever you want to call it. But these are the basic talk. This is the basic discussion that we've had at the beginning about her charges and what she could get, and it's just catching on to Coffendorfer and Ehrenberg. Thanks, Jay. I'm a grizzly lurker. You're amazing. Lots of love. Let's show love for Maddie. We want complete and utter justice. Let me put the petition down in chat. You guys continue signing. We're past 1,500 at the 2,500 goal next. All right. Thank you.
Regarding those actions.
Aiding and abetting is interesting. You'd have to know that the crime was committed and then try to take overt action to prevent the person from being arrested or to help that person flee. And if you can prove that, that's a separate crime. But it looks like here that prosecutors just want to use her testimony to seal the deal in prosecuting Stephan Sterns. And if she lies continually, then yeah, that'll come back to haunt her. But it looks like the only possible charge to me, in my mind, that the prosecutors here are setting themselves up for is a potential child neglect charge. And you can tell by the way they asked the questions. They avoided getting into too much detail about her potential child neglect. That is a felony in Florida when it leads to a death. So they avoided that for a reason. As you said at the beginning of our interview, I think they avoided that so they could potentially still charge her later on.
Did you hear that? So they could potentially charge her later on. Wolfpack says, imagine if you were truly innocent and you had to sit in jail and await trial for that long. Now think about it. That's why they have pre-trial hearings. So they have pre-trial hearings so that a judge, and sometimes they have juries in there determining if the trial is going to happen. They put pre-trial evidence to make sure that it could even make it to trial. So thank you. So many cases. So thankful for the content creators. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I do think about that. I do think about, wow, that would suck to sit in jail for 3 to 5 years if you didn't do it. Well, you better cover your ass if you didn't do something, because if it gets past a pretrial, then your life is in the hands of 12 jurors. They're working on charges for her. She just don't know. Yeah, but we're smarter than that, and we do. All right. I think they should just have pushed that text conversation between her and the barf bag. So do I. A grand jury. Yes, that's what I couldn't think of the word. Grand jury is right. Yes, they have to do a grand jury first, which is a pre-trial hearing. The grand jury hears it. All right. Sometimes they do it could be a grand jury, but I think sometimes it's just the judge. I'm not sure. Let me know.
I think that's where they're going. I don't think they're going in the direction of obstruction here as much as the more serious charge of child neglect leading to a death. They're still developing the case. The statute of limitations isn't running out anytime soon, so they could still bring those charges. But they want her to testify against Sterns on the stand. They want some leverage.
I told you they want Jennifer Soto. They don't want to just go in there and give them 35,000 images and say this was Stephan Sterns. He did it. Case closed. But I do want you to know that yesterday when we watched this, they said there was 35,000 images of children that were not Madeline Soto. So fit over 50. It is a federal case because it wasn't even just Maddie. And a lot of you guys seem to be surprised about that. But I've been saying from the beginning that Stephan Sterns was trading and maybe selling images of girls and Maddie. I sure hope we get a trial. I do too, but if the state sees fit to give Stephan Sterns, I hope they don't, because I want him to get the death penalty. So let's just leave it at that. I don't want to put it out there in the universe. Heather McDowell says, so glad to join the live. Thank you for all you do, Jay. justice for Maddie. Well, thank you. Somebody gift some memberships out there if you can, if you know how. I'd love to get some of these people in here if you can. If you can, thank you.
Against her, and that would be their leverage, I think, to say, if you're not going to cooperate, we're going to charge you with a crime.
Dave, I don't know about you with this case, but from the get-go, from her first interview, it was so blatantly obvious, really, to anyone that she was lying. The statements she gave, how she gave them, it was just a beacon for somebody not telling the truth, as was Sterns. He couldn't even look the camera in the eye. He looked down to the left the whole time, or to the right, I believe, the whole entire time. But my point is, with her, how could they not be focusing on the child neglect, as you said, the sexual abuse that basically, in a sense, she was a possible party to?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Dave? Do you think they'll charge?
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought perhaps earlier they would, but the longer this goes, it makes it a little less likely. The longer this sits out there, I think if she cooperates fully against Sterns, she could avoid the charge. I'm not privy to all the evidence.
I don't think there's going to be a statue on those. However, May Freeman, 35,000 photos hadn't been accessed since 2020. That's fine, because he had been assaulting Maddie since before that, since 2019 or the end of, as well as the other children. If there's a statue, it's going to be like 10 or 11 years. It's not going to be 4. Not that I know of, but if somebody in Florida knows, please let me know. And the text message, Scary Sherry, what's going on? One of my favorites is the text of her saying Maddie can't sleep with her, it's too risky. Ding, 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 ding. And her talking about her biological dad and not sending Maddie there because someone might take pictures of her under the door. That doesn't make any sense. That was happening at her own house. Anna Fleming says, this child has wrapped her hands around my heart. I'm a retired teacher, and this is so heartbreaking. And remember, folks, Anna Fleming, you're the one from St. Cloud, correct? My biggest fear was missing a red flag and failing a student. The POS drove her by my home. Jennifer Soto was a POS too. She still is. All right. Thank you for your comment.
The law enforcement and prosecutors have up there in Orlando. So it's hard to say. I do think they would have a case, though, against her. I mean, just by her answers, she was still backing Sterns up. She was saying, yes, Maddie likes to sleep with someone. She slept with my mom when she would go to her mother's house. And even though she was a teenager, she needed someone to sleep in the bed with her. So she was still trying to justify it.
Yep.
What she did. I think, though, in her favor, I think the video where they go and they're talking, I think it was the insurance office, where Sterns is like standing a couple feet behind her and to the side. It almost looked like a hostage video where you have the mother talking on camera, not knowing she was being recorded, but talking. And it looked like he was there monitoring her and making sure she said the right thing. So that could gain her some sympathy in front of a jury, where it looks like she was under his.
I don't think that one would gain her sympathy. I think the one that would gain sympathy is the interview where he's standing behind her, cracking his knuckles. The one on the news station, that one, she completely seemed like she was dominating that conversation. She would talk over him every time and even corrected him on what she was wearing that day when she never even saw her, according to her in this latest interview. Yes. Fry that potato. She's an evil, ugly, nasty potato. What's up, Brandy B? Saying hi to the crime crew. Every time I hear Rebecca says that has happened to Maddie, I also have to hug my kids. Yeah, my heart goes straight to my daughter when I hear that. I can't. Let's go.
Control. And that would be her defense. She was a damsel in distress who was under the control of this terrible, awful, bullying, murderous child molester. That's her defense. So that's why prosecutors, if they're going to charge her, need to make sure they have all the goods, make sure this is an airtight case, because you don't want to lose that prosecution, especially if you do charge her and she goes to trial. She's not going to cooperate with you against Sterns.
So what do you make of, there were two things that I found very interesting. Do you remember when she said she didn't, or she felt uncomfortable having her go with her own biological father? Something about, I don't want cameras to be used to look at her when she's going to the bathroom, or, males around her. And then she said the same thing about having her ever spend the night with a buddy, with her best friend. Well, I don't know what boys are there, brothers or fathers, what they might do to her. Did you find that totally odd?
I totally did. I thought that was very odd. How specific to make that kind of question.
And then she forgot what her answer was. And after she forgot, she explained it to the officers that, oh, no. There was a girl in my area that happened to, and I read about it, or very vague, very vague. Deanna says, Jay, thank you so much for sharing this with us. Much respect and love to you. Thank you guys for being here so much. Every day, you guys are so dedicated. 489 people in chat. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you have not hit that like button, please do hit that like button for me. If you're here, I assume that you're going to like my content. I've heard a few things in the last couple of days. The bigger I get, I hear more, more things, but it's okay. The lady is reading our text. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I assume you guys all love this channel. If you're here, so show me some love. Thank you. And Jennifer and Dave after this. True Crime MTN is Dave.
To your ex, you're the father of your daughter, to say, I don't want this, make sure this doesn't happen. That's a request so specific. It's like, that seems like it's happened before, but now
it's too specific, and it has happened before because Stephan Sterns was taking pictures under the door of the roommates. Peace Girl 205, shout out for the $9.99 super sticker. And Jamila, thank you. I'm glad you're here today, nice and early. Normally I see you catching us at the end. Love you. And Scary Sherry, thank you for loving the channel. Undead Ramen, what's up? Deanna says, hit the like button. Yeah, help me out, please. It's free. Jack Stormo Crime Crew loves the crap out of you. It does. You guys do. And I love you guys. I always show you guys love. And I appreciate that. You show it back.
Her explanation on that video was that after she couldn't remember why she said it. At first she said, I don't know why I wrote that. Right. And then she came back and I remember that I read something about an airline, and there was this young person, a child who was flying alone on an airline, and the airline, an attendant put a camera somewhere in the bathroom or under the seat or something. And that's why I was worried about that. So I brought that up. But, if that was really on top of her mind, why didn't she mention it to begin with? That was something she thought about and had to recollect after she had first said, I don't know why I said that. That would seem to be something you'd remember.
Yeah, I totally agree. And when I saw that, this video and listened to it over and over,
I wonder if the police officers will go back and fact check that, y'all, because they can fact check that when Stephan Sterns was taking pictures under the door based on his text messages and his pictures. They can see, and someone just said that they happened in January, the text message to Tyler, because she went in October the last time to go see her father and Tatiana. So I wonder if they're going to check on that. I hope they do. If I was a detective, I would have checked on that right away. CC, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. You guys are amazing. Every penny counts. Please know that. And thank you. I don't know why Jen had a child. And you know what, Sue? She spent thousands of dollars to keep Maddie in her custody. She did. She fought Tyler Wallace, and her mom paid for an attorney to keep Maddie in sole custody of Jen Soto. Why? She should have just gave her to Tyler. She would have been much happier there.
She seemed much more maniacal than I initially thought. I mean, I initially thought, yes, she's a liar. Yes, she's covering up. Maybe she's being, manipulated. But with those sorts of things, to me, she was describing what she absolutely knew was happening to Maddie by Stephan. And she was just deflecting it over on these other situations. That's how I took it. Somebody with a guilty conscience, having that seep in their decision making, or, what she had to say in that interview.
I'm with you, Jennifer. I felt the same way about her. I felt worse about her after heard the interview. She didn't seem as broken up as I thought she would be. I thought she'd be really devastated at the loss of her daughter.
She had no kind of emotion at all. Jamila, never a silly question. Fact checking during the interview. It was just them double checking what their feeling is against what someone else is. And I mean, I don't know if that's a legal term, but you check what they're saying, and you can go back and check on the phones. You can check on any evidence that they have. Stephan probably confessed to Jennifer about his camera use. Yeah, and also they have that on his phone. We've seen the picture of him taking a picture out in the door, and we know about it. Nicolette, what's up? Guilty crime. Hey, Uncle Chai, stopping to show some love. Thank you. Were you on Oblivious Benson's channel last night? If you were, let me know. I love Oblivious Benson, and I love that whole community of uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters and family. So it's great. Shout out to OB, Duty Ron community, and Melanie Little, all those. Uncle, what is it? Deb, Aunt Deb. I saw Aunt Deb last night for the first time. Shout out to Aunt Deb. I'm not always a big confidant, but she's on the mark with this one. I like her. I'll have her on my channel anytime.
And, people grieve in different ways, but it seemed like she was bending over backwards to still defend Stephan Sterns in that interview. Now, in part, you do that to protect yourself. You're trying to justify your actions because if you say the wrong thing, you think you'd be prosecuted for child neglect. But on the other hand, you were just given immunity. So speak freely. And she didn't seem like she was speaking so freely. She seemed like she was still holding something back. And remember, there was a part of that interview where they asked her a question and she was hemming and hawing. And the law enforcement interviewer said, we have your phone. So we know the truth here. So you should speak.
They don't want to push on her that hard, though, folks, because she'll stop talking. She does not have to talk to them. Sammy, love your picture. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. And Nicolette, you were there. Oh, what a sesh that was. What's up, Tiff Knox? Hi, Uncle Chai, guilty of crime. Thank you for being here. Man, last night was crazy. OB had me laughing. Oh, love OB and you all. You guys are just dedicated people. Dedicated. Sweetie was there last night. You wouldn't believe what happened after I got off that. I'll have to tell you after this. I'm not going to air this publicly.
Truthfully, because we don't want to have to prosecute you. I mean, it was something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
Thank you.
But you can see law enforcement didn't totally believe her either.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was surprised to see law enforcement sort of do that. I wanted them to keep giving her the rope to hang herself because she was slowly hanging herself. And then he kind of rescues her with that statement, which I did find interesting as well. Where do you think things head from here in terms of the death penalty if he's convicted of these crimes?
I think he's getting the death penalty. Florida made it a lot easier to get the death penalty. Number one, you don't even need a death anymore. If it's child molestation, you can get the death penalty, even if the child is alive. And here the child sadly is dead. And so he could get it either for the murder of Madeline Soto or the molestation of her. So you can get it either way. Plus, in Florida, we now have the easiest death penalty to administer, meaning you only need an 8-4 vote. If you're a defendant, it doesn't have to be unanimous in the penalty phase. It just needs to be 8-4, which is the lowest of any state in the country. And I don't know if that's going to be upheld as constitutional by the Supreme Court under the 8th Amendment, but that's the new law in Florida that was passed after the Parkland massacre, and Nicholas Cruz avoided the death penalty by 9-3 votes. The Florida legislature said 8-4. So this case is...
All right, y'all, just really quickly on a different note, real talk on YouTube. I love all you guys. I love the lurkers. I love the people that aren't chatting. I love the people that subscribe. If you're watching me and you're just watching me to yell at trolls, or you're watching me because you hate my voice, or you're watching me because you don't like how I look, or you're watching me to talk shit later, you're still watching me. So thank you. Shelly, you were on OB last night laughing. After I got off of OB, I went on a different channel and somebody was saying that I was in there talking shit. I was like, wait, what? I didn't even say anything. I was talking to the channel, but crazy. Lurkers, LMAO, right. Lurkers, ugh. Love you guys all, but man, after I got off that live, I was surprised to see what I was seeing. My name Jay was mixed in with OB and all the weird stuff going on. It's like, hey, I didn't even what? Anyway,
is headed towards a guilty verdict and the death penalty. I think the bigger question is what's going to happen to her mom.
Yes, that is the huge question. And I just can't believe that they're going to take a pass on not charging her with the child neglect type of charges because I think they have such a rock solid case right now. I just don't think they need her, especially when we saw what she had to say.
Yeah, on that, I agree with you, Jennifer. I think they've got such a good case against Stearns. I mean, they found the child porn on his phone. The jury's going to hate this guy. He was the last one seen with her. The evidence, all his story didn't pan out. I did think they got some good information from her when she talked about how he had all these excuses why. Oh, he left his phone at home again. Oh, all of a sudden my phone reset. I don't know what happened. I pushed the button. I mean,
I pushed one button and reset my phone twice. Wolfpack, I was thinking those exact words. I was guilty by association. And if I'm guilty by association, I'll take that because my friends are more important to me than what some lurker says about me after the chat. So guilty by association it is then. Lake Lady, thank you so much for the 199 super chat. Love you, Lake Lady. I hope you're having a good day on a Tuesday. We love you. We love you. All of us love you. And this crime community is great. Yeah, maybe law enforcement is waiting on Stephan Sterns to turn. I think he's really close to turning shopaholic. I'm a shopaholic too. I don't chat a ton, but I adore you and this community. Everyone here is amazing. I agree. Thank you. You're welcome. MJ Beetlejuice, how was it? It was amazing. It was funny. It was awesome. You got to go see it. Take your kids if you have kids.
And she was believing all this stuff, but no one else would believe it when all these reasons why, he didn't have his phone with him and he was stuck on the side of the road and he dropped Maddie off so early to school. Well, we were just early. I don't know. I was going to take her to McDonald's. I mean, none of this stuff adds up. They got him dead to rights. So I'm with you that I don't think they need her testimony, but we're not privy to everything that the prosecutors and law enforcement are privy to. Plus, they still could charge her. They could just be waiting till they really get the goods to where there's no doubt should be convicted. Because remember, it's not probable cause that's our standard for prosecutors to charge cases. It's can you get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt? So
can you get a conviction beyond a reasonable doubt? Is there enough evidence for a grand jury to find that, first of all? And then once you get there, is it possible to get a conviction? Does Stearns have a public offender? Of course he does. His parents aren't paying. He's indigent and he doesn't have money to pay for it. We know he was mooching off of everybody. And it's just not going to cut it with his videos that he's selling or sharing. Synth Cerber says, who's going to match me and show Jay some love? I appreciate that. If you ever have a channel or you need anything, I'm here. The other day I was able to help one of the crime crews. The crime crew person, I'm not going to say who, but they messaged me and they hadn't eaten that day. They hadn't eaten much that week. They had peanut butter and bread, and I sent them money and said, go get yourself some groceries, get yourself something to eat. And I could do that now. So yes, thank you, Synth Cerber.
That's why they perhaps are waiting a little longer.
Well, and I'm so glad you said that because I know a lot of people don't necessarily understand that the probable cause, yes, it's a probable cause affidavit, but the real conversation between investigator and prosecutor, and then you as a prosecutor, your decision is going to be based on, can I get a conviction? And if I can't, I am not bringing this forward.
And a lot of times judges won't even allow that if you don't have enough evidence. Teresa, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You definitely matched Synth Cerber. So Teresa, Synth Cerber, and NG 199, no doubt guilty. Right. Thank you for being here, y'all. What's up, Paul? I didn't get to say hi. Missy Frederick says good humans, and I hope that we are good humans. We try to be.
And trying to get it either an indictment or charge via criminal complaint or information.
That's right.
Thank you, Nicolette, for the $5 super chat. I also sent OB $10 last night. I took some of that $10 love that everyone was sending my way and sent it to Oblivious Benson. So thank you. It all comes around and goes, comes in, goes out.
Right. And you want to get as much information as you can out of her against Stearns before you would charge her with a crime. And then since you gave her immunity in April, the investigation would take longer. You can't base on what she said. And if what she said overlaps with what you found, you better be damn sure that that external evidence will.
And I always like to shout you guys out as much as I can. So Scary Sherry, you know I love you. Thank you for the $9.99. Let's get this party started. Prof A Fair $9.99 super sticker. I'm sure it's a avocado or an avocado. Sue says $2 is 10 in CDN, right? Yes. Thank you, Sue. Prof A Fair. Baba Scary Sherry, one of my favorites, and all you guys are amazing. Thank you. And Jill, thank you for being here. I know Brian's not there, so we'll call you Jill.
Convince a judge that you did not have to rely on what she said. That'll blow up the whole case. So that's another reason why this thing could be taking longer. But I'm with you. I think if they wanted to charge with child neglect leading to a death, yeah, that you could do it. But again, you don't know everything that the prosecutors and law enforcement knows.
Right. We can't really get out.
Yeah, we don't know what they know, and I think we do know a lot of what they know. But Rodney Green, thank you for the $2 super sticker. I agree, best community ever. And Wednesday, Ophelia, do me a favor, send me an email, and I'll send you over my my Google line, so to speak. All right, guilty of crime by j@gmail.com. Let's finish this up so we have time to look at the logs and the calls and logs. See what Stephan Sterns is buying and what he's doing in there.
Out our crystal ball, even though from what we see, it seems like there could be a pathway to that. But let me ask you this, because I think you will know this answer. You as a prosecutor, how long are you looking at this dragging out now? I mean, we're getting 8 months out now. Where are you thinking in terms of if they don't charge, that's sort of what you would see as maybe the cutoff?
They have until the statute of limitations runs out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know offhand what it is, 3-4 years for child neglect. I don't know offhand, but whatever the statute of limitations runs out, that's their ticking clock. The Stearns trial would go first because he's already been charged. He's in the process. So I think that'll happen. I think they hope that she'll testify against him. They're going to see how she behaves. I think they're going to see what other evidence they have. And, the more stuff that comes out that's damning against her, they'll be left with no choice, because to see this poor innocent girl murdered in such a horrific way and to be sexually abused over time, I mean, people want to know, what about the mother? And the mother for a while was trying to pretend ignorance. I didn't know anything. I'm a victim too. Well, after you listen to that recording, that interview, she comes across a lot less sympathetically than I think a lot of people thought she would.
Well, you know what, Dave? I'm holding out. I really think that they're going to charge her. And again, what I really base that on is what they didn't ask her at that interview. That was just, look up here. Why aren't you talking about this? So I still have hope. Dave, thank you so much for joining us. I just.
Dave Ehrenberg and Jennifer Koffendorfer, all stars, in my opinion. Play My Jams is a new sub. Thank you for subscribing. I don't have to tell you now that I know you subscribed. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you didn't already, and appreciate it. Nuala Darcy said $2 super chat. Thank you, Justice for Maddie. We all want that, and we want Jen to be arrested. So thank you guys for being here. Let's finish this up. And it's Grizzly True Crime. I want to make sure that you guys know I always shout out my people that I either react from the videos or where I get the videos. I always have my subs, my mods, put them in the chat, the people that I'm using. So I want you to know I always show love. Yesterday, there was a video that came out from Plunder, and someone had used her stuff and didn't shout her out. So I want you guys to know that I always shout her out. My mods always remember for me if I don't remember. So we will shout everybody out, and just know I didn't put the time to get a FOIA. I was working all day. All right, Candace Sprinkle, thank you. You're a Bay Area peep. Tell me where at in the Bay Area. I'm in San Jose. Thank you for the $2.99 super sticker. And yes, Plunder, love for Plunder. She answered me back and she said, thank you for always being sweet. That was awesome that she realizes that I do pay attention and I take that extra time to shout them out. Grizzly, Plunder, Docket, absolutely. All right.
Can't thank you enough. Can I ask you one more question though?
Sure.
On the subject really quick, because the school shooting, I think, is at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And we know with Parkland, there were a lot of changes made. You talked about one, the 8 to 4 on the death penalty, but the other change that was made that I thought was interesting, the red flag laws that started after Parkland, and Georgia doesn't have them. What do you think about red flag and their use in the future?
I'm a huge supporter of red flag laws. Red flag laws could have averted the tragedy in Georgia. Red flag laws are helping the state of Florida. We just used it just in a case I'm not allowed to talk about because it's a pending matter, but it just happened this week in a case that the community is very upset about someone potentially committing a horrible crime. And now that person's guns are being taken away and ammunition. And it's only temporarily. There's due process. But if someone poses a significant risk to himself or others, then law enforcement can remove the guns and ammunition from that person for 2 weeks. And then you go to a court and then try to get it for a year. And then you can, if you're the defendant, if you're the person whose guns are removed, you get a right to go have a lawyer and contest it. But do you know that most of these red flag cases are not contested? And so it works 5 times a day. It's used in Florida. And we're a red state that has very loose gun laws, but we have that. If this had existed in Georgia, then as soon as there was an incident with this kid, they could have taken the guns and ammunition away from them, and then he wouldn't have had access to it, and 4 people would have been alive today that are now gone. So yes, I'm a big supporter of red flag laws. The only reason why they don't exist in all 50 states is because the NRA has generated opposition to it as some violation of your Second Amendment right. But come on, there's due process. It only applies when someone poses a significant threat to themselves or others, and you've got to prove it with clear and convincing evidence. So it's a high burden, but it's done every day in Florida and other states.
Man, I just absolutely agree with everything you said there. And obviously, I'm very pro Second Amendment for being able to protect yourself in this way. But exactly, it's a high burden. There's absolutely no Second Amendment violation.
I agree. And I think that's not out of our league, Bree. I think we can totally get Jennifer Coffendorfer on here. We are shouting her channel out. I did see her on I did see her on, I just said it earlier, but now I can't remember, T-Rev. I saw her on there and I was like, oh man. So I think we should get her on our channel, talk about this. Walnut Creek, what's up? Kind of I guess it's the Bay Area. Very, what is that? East Bay? Anyway, you're in the Bay Area. Yeah, stop buying children guns and stop leaving your freaking guns out unlocked and loaded. What the heck? What in the heck is wrong with people? I'm all about guns. I'm all for guns. I love going and shooting guns. I love having guns. I love getting them licensed as well and locking them up. So yeah, let's get it. That'd be awesome. Let's get Jennifer on there. Guilty of crime as a wifey, true crime buff, wife, mother of 2, dog mom of 3, not 4 anymore. All right, let's go. Let's finish this up so we can have some time to look at Stephan Sterns' junk.
For heaven's
Not that
sakes.
junk.
And then finally on this note, what about terroristic threats, Dave? I've seen 6 cases so far. I've been trying to monitor pretty close. 4 in Georgia, 1 in Michigan, I think 1 in Florida. Charging terroristic threats. In other words, finally, when you call up and you say, I'm going to blow up your school, instead of just saying, don't do this anymore, you go out and you arrest them. What are your thoughts there?
I love that. Yes. In fact, I think that was used in Michigan with the Crumbly case against the shooter, the killer, Ethan Crumbly. So it's been used in cases of school shootings. And I think that holds water. Yes, if you are terrorizing a school, you should be charged with terroristic threats. That's the whole purpose of some of these threats. You're trying to.
I have a safe where only my finger works. Someone put that on their SIN server, says I want to get one of those biometrics where one of your fingerprints works. My safe is like that. Only my fingerprints work on the safe to get out. Well, my 9mm. I have many other guns, but they're in a big gun safe. Did you see the interview with the Parkland judge? Oh, I love the Parkland judge. I haven't seen that yet, but it's on my to-dos. Yeah, I think all trials should be streamed too. Some cases, maybe not, but Rose Design says, sorry, I hate guns. I would rather defend myself with a fry than a gun in my home. Yeah, well, certain circumstances. If you knew my circumstances, yeah, I would say some people should have guns, other people not. Walnut Creek is beautiful, too lovely for me. I need a little bit of graffiti and trash, the threat of crime. Well, then move to San Jose. All right.
Create great harm in people, and if you do so, that statute should be used. I think prosecutors need to do more to try to stop these school shootings, and they are by charging the parents. They could also charge with these serious crimes before a tragedy occurs, because it looks like the legislatures are not doing their part. That's why it's up to prosecutors. Legislatures need to pass red flag laws and other measures, but until that happens, the prosecutors will keep doing what we can at the local level.
Dave, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You always just enlighten us, and just love having you on the show, and hope to see you on News Nation soon. I'm sure I'll see you with Cuomo soon, and thank you for everything.
Supposed to be on tonight, Jennifer. We'll see if that happens, and hopefully I'll be on with you. I always love being on with you.
See if she says anything else.
Talking about specifically your support of some of the discussion we had. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you again.
Well, thank you, Coffin Doffer. Whether you're a Coffin Doffer, whether y'all are Coffin Doffer fans or not, I think she gave us really good information, and so did Aaron. So let's not forget to subscribe to her. I'm gonna jump on to Grizzly now. Now, if you guys seen this, great. If you haven't, well, then you're with me. I haven't. I noticed a lot of you guys jumped out. There must be another chat right now. I had 520 people in chat, and now there's 470. So if you guys jumped out, don't forget to hit that like button. We're going to go over the call logs and the jail orders that Grizzly had or got or put together. I don't know, but we got Grizzly by me. Of course, it's always a shout out to Grizzly. I never don't say it's Grizzly or Plunder or whatever. So if you missed me saying that, it's because it was at the beginning and you hopped on to a later portion of the video. Jay, I'm in San Jose, California. I'm next to San Francisco, Santa Cruz, all that. San Diego is my favorite second spot, but that's not my place. All right. So love Grizzly. I always call her for what she is, the queen of true crime. She started much before I did, and Crime to Remember says, get ready to put your puke buckets out. So let's watch this. I haven't seen it. I figure why not? Let's watch it with my crime crew. All right, let's see what he's got. He's got some strawberry Nutri-Grain bars, some apple cinnamon Nutri-Grain fiber oats. Let's go. And then I'll head out.
13-year-old Madeline Soto. So, seeing as we've gone through so many of these FOIA files that I've also requested and Grizzly Cat helped me with, now we're going to be looking at what he's ordered while he's been waiting for his trial. His next court date is set for October 14th. I think it's a scheduling hearing or something. Things change the whole time, and he doesn't appear at any of his hearings. He says he'll only appear at his trial. Okay, so let's just have a look. So here you can just pause and...
Okay, so I hope you guys heard that, because every time we've gone to a hearing for Stephan Sterns, I haven't seen him yet. I've not seen him. He hasn't showed up. Yeah, Randy, I definitely don't forget about that root beer candy. I cannot stand that man. Okay. So I had to put Grizzly at regular speed. She talks as fast as I do. So let's do it regular speed. Fatty's got some Kit Kats, some Twix, some M&Ms. We're going to see him nice and plump coming into his trial, big fatty. And I don't normally say that, but I hate Stephan Sterns. So, all right, let's look at him. He's got his shoes on here and all his stuff. He's got a do-rag, guys, a do-rag. All right.
And read if you want to see all the things that he could order. Of course, we know from all the documents we've been through that his parents have been sending him money. I don't know if they're still doing it or not. It does seem so when I look at some of these records. But he was complaining that he wants, them to top up his commissary money so that he can buy more things. Okay, so let's have a look at this. I'll show you the commissary. Hold on. I want to show you this. So
Thanks,
here you
Gisela.
could see his dad's name. Okay. And here it says, I don't know who this person is or why it says trust, but okay, maybe it's part of the jail staff. I don't know. But grand total, $1,120 is what he seems to have received. And it looks like it's dated from the 29th of March. So that would be a month after he was arrested. And then it goes until there's some in April here. There's some in May, there's some in June, July, and August, right? You can see, so the money is still flowing in consistently, okay?
And when she says flowing, she really does mean it. I mean, he's making more money than I am. This guy, somebody's just saying him 50, 50, 50, 60, 50, 30, 40. And I don't know if that's his Chris Walker Stearns. It's his dad. And then Christopher Walker. Oh, Danielle Carr. There's a person that sent him $40. And then Clerman, Shamsher, Law, $10. Wow, Danielle Carr. I wonder who these people are.
Hold on. Willow is clawing at me and desperately wants to be part of this video. So say hi to everyone. This is Willow. She's a Maine Coon. And we've also got Fury, which I'm sure you guys know. You always see them in our outro. So she wants my attention now, and she doesn't want me to talk anymore about Stephan Sterns. Okay. We want to make the point, though, that, of course, Stephan Sterns is living not comfortably, but he's ordering, pickles and cookies and whatever else, while Madeline Soto's life was taken. She was murdered after her 13th birthday party. Like, she had a birthday party on February 25th, and by February 26th in the morning, the police say she was deceased, and Stephan Sterns drove around with her body strapped into his dad's vehicle.
Yeah, that's when I see those photographs of the car and then the dog leash in the front seat, I'm pretty sure that he used that to hold Maddie up. I don't want to see that video or those pictures, but in a way I do want to. Yeah, everybody loves Willow and Fury. We love you, G from Guilty. Grizzly True Crime. We love her. And how could you not shout her out when her face is right next to me? All right. Yeah, so sad. Let's keep going. Let's see this guy. And I can't believe this Danielle Carr person or this Kuram Shamshar. I wonder if those are his friends. If anybody knows, let me know.
And then he just placed it where he had a flat tire, of course, and he went back there the next night. But just to leave her the way that he did as well, after years of sexual abuse, is unthinkable.
Hi,
Thank you for saying hi. Gotta get back to work. Okay, so this is the commissary money being topped up. As we know, his parents also send him books and things. We've seen that from the emails. If you haven't seen that, then go check out that part 1, 2, and 3 that we did a few months ago. A deep dive of the district attorney's office 896-page document. There we went.
You guys go back on my channel as well. I have that on my playlist. I came out with breaking news that night that it came out, and I did it right away. So since Cerber says Jay, I didn't even think of the dog leash to hold her up. I totally makes sense. Gross. Yeah, when I saw that dog leash in the front seat, the way it was coming down, I was like, why they have them in the back, but then they have a dog leash in the front. Yeah, sure he did. Yes, hit the like button, Arizona Good Vibes, and everybody else. Keep hitting the like button for me. If you head out of here, please do hit the like button. Help my channel. Grizzly's got 300 and something thousand subscribers. You guys probably already are subscribed here, but if you're not, please do.
Through some of the parents' emails, right? And they're sending him like origami books and all sorts of things. Okay. So anyway, the money's still flowing in. I will check again in a few months' time to see if it's still happening, because I'm keen to see, will his parents always support him this way, or at some point are they going to be able to deal with what their son is accused of? And I mean, it's absolutely horrendous. Are they still going to support him this way? They might, because they are his parents, right? But who knows? Okay, so now if we look at the call log, I've redacted their phone numbers. I find it unbelievable that when I asked for these, they weren't redacted. So if anybody else gets these, if they order these
Yeah, you guys, we can't even show those numbers on there, so I'm kind of glad it's redacted. Bree says, I'm confused. Stephan Sterns' parents claim in the interview they don't feel they know their son. Yeah, they're doing that. I believe, Bree, they're doing that for the sake of the audio and the police officers because we can hear them and read their messages. They're all up Stephan Sterns' butt, no pun intended. Yeah, I'd shut the door and lock it too, but yeah. Anyway, yes, Marilyn McRae, I got that as well on my playlist, and it's not from Grizzly. I got it myself, and then I probably got it from her, but I played it without having her next to me. So if you want to go watch it on my channel, it's like a 30-minute episode, just quick in and out. You can see what he's got going on and what his parents are doing. It's disgusting. Look at him down there crying. Good picture, Grizzly.
from the jail and they get a copy, please redact the phone numbers because the last thing one wants is to put this on the internet and have a whole lot of people phoning them. You could literally just call them, hi, Deborah, it's me, Gisela.
Right?
From Grizzly True Crime. No, we don't want that. Okay. So anyway, these are the call logs, and I have asked why do they stop now in June? It looks like the 16th of June is where this page really stops, and I don't know why that is. So are they emailing more than calling? Did they stop calling? Are they still calling? As I say, the money is still flowing in. So they are still in communication and they are still making sure that their baby boy is okay. Now, what you've been waiting for, the commissary list. Here we go. Get ready. Okay, it's 6 pages long.
And what somebody said, I don't know if that was Synth or who said, notice there are no items on there for his hygiene. He doesn't have toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, none of that. He's got Butterfingers and hot fries and Snickers and Sprite and pickles and corn chips and cherry cheese Danish. Ooh, that cherry cheese Danish, y'all.
And very wide, so I'm going to have to actually expand it a little bit like this. Hope you could see. Okay, so we're starting here, as you can see, well, this one, I don't know when it all started because it just starts right there in April, okay? The 18th of April of 2024, you could see it's Stephan Michael Sterns, and he ordered a Snickers choc peanut, and then hot fries, Andy Cap, and just wait till you see what else he ordered here. Wait for it. Fago peach soda, Sprite, M&M choc peanut, but
Y'all, I gotta say this. I get a kick out of just hearing Gisela say this. I don't know if these things are like American, so she's just reading them because she's like, what? A mega honey bun. I just get a kick out of her reading them. Savage Barbie, he did take a shower 21 days in, but yeah, he's just, I'm going to listen to her for a minute because it's funny how she's saying this. Oh, God.
Butterfinger candy bar. More
the
hot peanuts, and then he ordered 1 hot pickle and 1 mild pickle on the same day. So I think he wanted to try like which one is his favorite, right? He keeps ordering those. Eventually he orders a total of like 11 pickles. Okay, so hot corn chips, hot fries, Andy Cap. There we go. Here we go, everybody. Oh, look at that. A cherry cheese Danish. Now, what's that thing that he said that he gave to Maddie because she didn't want McDonald's?
So,
went back to
Danish?
McDonald's.
Lincoln, tell me.
Still,
I called that out before I heard it. A cheese Danish. Love you, Grizzly True Crime. It's funny. It's like her translating it, and I'm getting such a kick out of it. All right, let's listen to this. It was the cheese Danish. Look at this nasty pig's car. Ugh.
still time to kill. She still didn't want McDonald's, but I did give her a raspberry and cheese Danish.
So did you go
Yep.
through the drive-thru? Did you
No.
go inside?
No, didn't go inside.
Where did you get the Danish from?
Oh, the Antonins that I brought from home. I gave her a couple of those from home.
Okay.
So she wasn't without food totally.
Oh, a raspberry cheese Danish. Well, it appears that he loves those because he's still ordering those in jail. Okay.
A raspberry cheese Danish, y'all. Raspberry cheese Danish in Lauren, Wisconsin. What's up? I saw you today on Grizzly. You say 100% all the prisoners should know what he's done and what cell he's at, despite a demon being on solitary. 2 pickles in 1 day. He better get himself a diaper, idiot. Yeah, I don't even think he. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go.
Mega honey bun, more peach soda, creamer, single serve Keef coffee, which if any of you have watched Jessica Kent's channel, I think she mentions that coffee and it sounds pretty damn gross. Okay, so a 10-pack sugar substitute. So he buys a sugar, like a sweetener, saccharin, but then he buys all the chocolates and sweets in the world. That's a little bit weird to do that in jail, dude. So then a box of Hawaiian punch drink mix.
And yes, I do love how she says McDonald's. I love it. If you guys hear McDonald's from her, hit a 1 and type in a 1 in chat, because I love when she says McDonald's. Everything is so fancy. A raspberry cheese Danish. I can't even do that.
Cool Wave clear toothpaste. I've heard the toothpaste in jail is also terrible. Okay. Security toothbrush. A sleeve of saltine crackers. Hot peanuts. More peach soda. More Keef coffee. And then it says BC hot sausage. Hot fries. And then and then he got the Osceola snack kit. Another mild pickle, 2 of them actually, 2 mild and 1 hot on this day. This is now in June. You can see the date over here on the left, right? And that sounds weird. On the left, right? Okay, but you get what I mean. Over here, you see the date. I'm reading.
She makes me want a butterfinger right now. All right.
What he's ordered since April. Okay. Single serve coffee, hot peanuts, saltine crackers, Starlight mints. Now, here are those root beer barrels. Remember when he asked his mom for more money to buy root beer candy? That's what that is. So there it is. We can see it with our own eyes now. Hot peanuts, 10-pack sugar substitute, single serve coffee. Aviator playing cards. Starlight mints, root beer barrels, single serve coffee, hot peanuts, hot fries, another mild pickle. Buff blue cheese chip. Okay, so it's almost like a ranch sauce type of chip, I guess. Jalapeno cheese. Root beer barrels, more of those. Hot spicy pork rinds, saltine crackers, cheddar cheese, hot corn chips. White lined paper pad. Okay. Single serve coffee again, saltine crackers, root beer barrels. These are all the same. Here's something else. High C flashing fruit punch drink mix. Oh yeah. Root beer barrels, hot peanut.
High C. She makes it so fancy. High C flashing fruit punch drink mix. Here in America, it'd just be high C, yo. Fruit punch, high C. But she makes it fancy. We love you, G. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you. It's actually really funny.
Nuts, more coffee. There you go again. Cherry cheese Danish.
McDonald's.
And then FC mackerel. Okay.
Of course it is.
40 ounces of dandruff shampoo, single serve coffee, saltine crackers, Starlight mints, root beer barrels, a white washcloth. Okay. Coffee, a hot pickle, more of the candy he likes, more of the coffee that he has to have. Then we have a hot pickle and a butterscotch disc, mackerel, hot peanuts, more saltine crackers, SC and onion chip. I guess sour cream and onion chip.
I do love her. She's adorable. I've been watching Grizzly True Crime before she had this 300,000 people audience. She would sit there and just stream for the hours, and she'd be drinking her drink with, a straw and everything. And I'm thinking, I wonder what that is. And she was good. She had her, rum or whatever. It's when she used to drink alcohol. And her face would get all red, and I love her. Now she doesn't drink alcohol anymore, but I loved watching her when she'd sit there with her drink and just stream for hours. So we love you, G, and we're totally having a good time with you. Thank you.
More of the same there. So you see, he starts finding what he really likes. And here and there, you can see he tries something new.
Of course.
A sour fruit ball. I don't know why, but I just find it really ridiculous to think of Stephan Sterns sitting there in his jail cell eating a pickle. I don't know why. Just that image is just like, oh my goodness. Feeling very, very sorry for himself, because he only seems to feel sorry for himself, right? Banana double-decker moon pie. Ooh, he went all out that day. That was on the 29th of July of 2024. So on page 4 of 60K, choc double-decker moon pie. saltine crackers. Jolly Ranchers, is he going to wear lipstick? I know in the female jails, again, from Jessica Ken's channel.
Jolly Rancher. Oh yeah, they use Jolly Ranchers for lipstick, y'all. I wonder if he's showering in his cell, Marilyn McRae. And when I say showering in his cell, meaning using the sink or toilet water as one would that doesn't want to go out to the showers and get his ass completely beat. Hi, Jay. Love G. She's amazing, just like you. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Most of you guys are already on her channel. So thank you for sitting here watching this with me. JPL, much love coming to you, Jay. Jennifer Soto and Stephan Sterns are maggots. Paul, yeah, dandruff shampoo for what? He doesn't shower. I'm thinking he uses the toilet, just saying, with one washcloth. As long as he gets his condi, he's good. All right, let's keep going.
They use like Jolly Ranchers to make.
Let's go a little bit more forward because we know he's not.
Of this, he's still the same
Probably
there.
not doing lipstick.
And so here you could see the total
Commissary.
amounts that he bought it for.
Damn.
My goodness. Just to think that he's sitting there thinking what he's going to order next. I'll show you the menu again. Here's the menu. You can order checkers, Monopoly for games, Yahtzee, chess set, poker size cards. What is that? Pinocchio cards, colored pencils, short colored pencils, sketchpad, dominoes, jigsaw.
It's pinochle or pinnacle or whatever, but we know that in America. I love you, G. This is great.
Puzzle, Scrabble, and Uno. Feminine products. Oh, okay. Feminine douche, feminine towelette, 8-count tampon. Okay, he's not gonna order that. But you never know. Okay, health and beauty, contact lens solution.
He might be getting feminine products, y'all. Thank you, Lauren, Wisconsin, 199. Thanks. You say you love my laugh. Thank you. Some people hate my voice, so I appreciate it. Carol Jogi says, Dear Jen Soto, aka Double Chin, the world is waiting to see you in jail. The world is also waiting to see you on the street so we can knock you in the head. He can checkmate himself. You guys are
we can see that. So here's all the, let's see the coffee.
Knuckle.
Instant coffee, Taster's Choice single, hot chocolate, Maxima coffee, cappuccino coffee, Cocoa Joe coffee, French vanilla coffee, hazelnut, and classic blend regular. So we can't actually see his coffee on here. This is this instant coffee one. You can see the price of it there as well. Oh my goodness. Here's the toothpaste. Oh man. And the lotions. There's his hand and body lotion that he probably bought. Wow. Okay, men's clothing. He can buy boxer shorts and men's briefs and things like that. I just remember Chris Watts ordering like coffee and Oreos and all kinds of stuff as well. I know that they're human. I know they have rights. I know they have to cope when they're there in jail. I know they're going to order things. I know some people are going to be like, what's the point of this, Gisela? There's not really a point besides saying, look at this guy able to order all of these things with the support of his parents, of course. If it wasn't for them, he wouldn't be able to, right? So he's ordering all the stuff. So two things to note would be the cherry cheese Danish, because it's included in his narrative of, you know, what Maddie wanted that morning instead of McDonald's, right? So there's that. And just seeing what this guy is up to, because we can't actually see him in jail, right? We could just see what is he up to? What is he doing? Is he still sitting there nurturing himself, feeling sorry for himself? Well, it does appear so. I'm not sure if I would love to compare commissary lists to see someone else who doesn't have the support. Like, can they, because some jails are different. I know sometimes they can do work to earn money to be able to do this, or they trade things, of course, as we know in jails too. And so, I don't know, man, if you didn't have the support, would this list be a lot shorter? I think so, right? So I just thought it would be of interest to some of you. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again in the next one. Of course, if you've missed the deep dive on this case, you can expand the description box. You can find the link to the playlist over there. We have really done a deep dive. We've looked at documents, we've looked at body cam, we've listened to audio files and all the interviews and just everything we possibly can in this case to try to understand, how could this happen in plain sight to Maddie? How could this happen in plain sight? And I just wanted to say hello with my puppy that just ripped up a ton of toilet paper, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right. Emma Joy, you're a minute behind. That's okay. My baby has not gotten any bigger. Look at her. You remember the baby Yorkie? I just wanted to show you her because she just ripped up a whole roll of toilet paper. I wish I could bring the camera to the living room with me, but look at her.
She's innocent. Anyway, she just ripped up a whole roll of toilet paper. It's covered. So when I'm done here, I get to clean the toilet paper. Let's go. McDonald's. We love you, Maddie.
Her mom let this happen. Like, she was so neglectful. I think that's what really bugs all of us so much. She's just like, how could you? How could you send your daughter upstairs with a man that's your ex-boyfriend to go and sleep because you need a good night's rest? That's just not okay. She should never, ever have had custody of Maddie, right? Oh, it hurts so much. So
Good.
I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.
All right, y'all. Guess what I get to do right now? I get to go clean up a whole roll of toilet paper. All right, y'all. Yes, puppies are innocent. I think she knows that what she did was bad girl. Bad girl. Bad girl. All right. Let's finish this up. And I got to go clean toilet paper. I wonder what would happen if the guys in jail know Stephan Sterns is getting and spending this money. What would they think? I don't know if it would be a what would they think. I think they would punk him for his stuff. They'd probably steal his stuff or they'd tax him. Yeah. This is a perfect emoji for what I get to do right now. Perfect. All right. Wednesday, Ophelia. Thank you. Thank you for being here the whole time. Send me an email. I love you all. Randy B, one of my favorites. All of you guys are my favorite. Let's be real. But yeah, she does need a treat. She's shaking right now. I don't know if it's because she's cold or because she knows she ripped up the toilet paper. But she's hanging on. I don't even need hands. She's a little ball. All right, y'all. I love you all. I will be back tomorrow. Please do come and see me at 4:00. Eilish, good to see you. Stephan Sterns is not in protective custody, but he is by himself. I don't know if it's protective. I'll have to figure out what that's called. I don't know if it's called protective, but good night, y'all. Shirley has 5 Yorkies. I have 2 Yorkies and a Maltipoo. So definitely have my hands full. Chachi, what's up? Everybody, I love you. Jamila, thank you for supporting the channel tonight. I'm going to go clean up that toilet paper. Lauren, I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much. And please, yeah, segregation. Is that where he is? Okay, I'll figure it out. But I love you all. Have a wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow. Good night, y'all. Go clean up the toilet paper.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?